Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gadget Garage. In today's video, we're going to be taking the Lectric ONE up Phoenix's South Mountain to see if it has what it takes to make it to all three lookout points, which is going to be approximately 1,900 feet in elevation gain, as well as 9.5 miles up to the top of the mountain. So let's get this bike ready and head on up. So one thing I'm going to be paying particularly close attention to today on this ride is going to be the gearing as well as the levels of pedal assist that we use. I took the Lectric XP 3.0 up this mountain on several occasions and it made it up beautifully, but we did have to leverage all levels of pedal assist as well as a good chunk of the gear range. So we'll see how the Lectric ONE handles the same mountain. Another thing to call out is that this bike has 85 Newton meters of torque, which is significantly more than the 55 Newton meters that we see in the Lectric XP 3.0. For today's ride, I do have the pre-select feature enabled in the app, basically allowing the Lectric ONE to choose which gears I'm in. Now, of course, at any point in time, we can override that by manually changing gears. Now, a nice thing about this bike is it does give you a wattage readout on the screen, as well as voltage and all that fun stuff. But right now, we are in pedal assist level 4. And we are cruising around at about 19 miles an hour, and we're cranking out about 960 watts right now. Now, this Lectric ONE does have a 750 nominal watt motor, which is capable of cranking out upwards of 1,310 peak watts. So far, riding up this mountain in pedal assist 4 and 1 gear shy of our highest gear results in a very comfortable ride. So right now, I am putting in very minimal effort. There's no kind of ghost pedaling or anything like that right now. Feels really nice, really relaxed. Now, of course, on a ride like this, if you do want to get in a little bit of a workout, all you have to do is dial down the pedal assist level. And here at pedal assist level 3, now I'm putting in more effort. Can definitely get that workout in. All right, we officially crossed the 3-mile mark, and we still have all bars remaining on the screen. Now, one thing that you immediately notice on this bike is how smooth the power delivery is. You know, switching between pedal assist levels, there's no like sudden burst of acceleration or anything like that. It is very smooth. So they've really got that PWR system dialed in. Another thing to mention is that rear hub motor is very quiet. They do say it's 400% quieter than other competitor 750 watt motors. I mean, it's night and day difference. I can barely hear that motor operating in the back. All right, here we go into a steep section in the shadow of the mountain. Now, I think it was around last weekend they actually had a pretty big fire spark out here, which was caused by lightning. And so they closed off this road, and unfortunately, I was unable to test one of my other devices up here. But thankfully, everything is opened again. Now, of course, on this ride, we will be tracking all of our stats with Garmin GPS. That way we have some consistency between the bikes that we test up this mountain. Definitely got lots of people out and about today. All right, here's the turnoff for our first lookout. That is Dobbins Lookout. All right, so far so good. Right now we're coming into a steeper section. And we're cranking out about 915 watts or so, and we've lost a couple battery bars. And here we are coming into our first lookout. All right, here we are, lookout point number 1 with a beautiful view of downtown Phoenix. All right, here we go to our next lookout point, which is going to be Buena Vista Lookout. All right, that was a nice little downhill section there. Bike felt very controlled. No rattling or shaking or anything like that, but the ultimate test will be going back down this mountain. You know, even on this hilly terrain, the gear shift on this bike is very, very smooth. So, you know, in my opinion, this pinion gear shift system, or really any kind of electronic shift system, especially with automatic shifting, I think is going to be a game changer. It'll be interesting to see if, you know, other manufacturers follow suit, you know, with either the pinion system or something of their own. I think DJI is also entering the e-bike game with their own shifting mechanism from what I've read online. A little chipmunk in the road. Those things are unpredictable. All right, let me toggle over to the voltage view here. Okay, we're at about, well, we'll wait till we're not under load here. All right, we're at about 49 volts. So the Lectric One that I'm riding right now is the longer range edition, so it does have a bigger battery at 14 amp hours. Of course, it does run off of 48 volts. And so fully charged, we're around, you know, 54, 55 volts. All right, here we are coming into Buena Vista Lookout. So it gives you another perspective of the Phoenix metro area. All right. Here we are, Buena Vista Lookout, lookout point 2. We've got one more to go. All right, next lookout is Gila Valley Lookout, which is our third lookout point. That's one that opened several months back. That was under construction for the longest time. It is now open and ready for us to explore. Now, when it comes to, you know, taking sharp turns on this bike, whichever direction you're leaning into, you want to make sure that that pedal is either in the flat or up position, because with, you know, 20-inch tires, your pedals are going to be lower to the ground, so you don't want to bump your foot into the ground while you're moving, especially at high speeds. All right, here's our turn, and we are heading up to Gila Valley Lookout. Now, this section all the way up to Gila Valley Lookout is going to be the steepest part of our climb, and so we'll see how the Lectric One does with its 85 Newton meters of torque and 1,310 watts of peak power. All right, shifting through the gears here. Here's a steep section right ahead. Pedal assist 4. And we are in second to highest gear, so we don't need that. It's not quite that steep. $915 watts, nowhere near peak. So we handled that section beautifully. And of course, now that we're picking up speed, the gear shift automatically is shifting us into the appropriate gear. So when we pick up pedaling again, we are in the right spot. And of course we are. There it is. Nice and smooth. Now, I don't know if you caught it on the intro video and I was giving you some views of the bike, but I did swap out the seats to the Cloud 9 seat because the stock seat, unfortunately, just super uncomfortable over longer rides. You know, if you're gonna be riding 5-6 miles, I mean, it's fine. But if you're gonna be going on longer rides like this, which at the end of the day should be about 17 miles, it's not comfortable for me. You know, so if you get this bike, definitely give it an honest shot, because it might be the perfect seat for you. Everybody's built differently. But for me, I had to swap that out, because when I go on rides like this, when I do our range test probably next weekend, I definitely want to make sure that, you know, I'm as comfortable as possible on a ride that long, on a ride that might end up being, you know, 40, 50 miles, who knows. But anyways, if you're interested in that seat, I'll definitely include a link in the description below so you can see which one I got. I actually ordered a second one, slightly different style, so I'll be testing that out one of my upcoming rides. All right, we're coming through the steepest section, and this bike is very well geared. You know, if I want to take a little pressure off my legs, got another gear that I can use here, and another gear. So very well geared for hill climbs. That, in conjunction with the pedal assist, you shouldn't have any issue with most hills that you're going to attempt to climb. Here we go, home stretch. And here we are, South Mountain Preserve, Gila Valley Lookout. We made it to the highest point on this ride. All right, so there's another view of the Phoenix metro area. These are the towers on the top of South Mountain. There's our view. Absolutely fantastic. You can see that road goes all the way out to the horizon there. But always a beautiful place to come up for the weekend. All right, so we are heading back down South Mountain on the Lectric ONE. It was 9.5 miles up the mountain. It's gonna be 8.5 miles down the mountain. And this is gonna be giving us plenty of opportunity to test out the hydraulic brakes on this bike. Now, of course, this bike does have 180mm discs in the front and the back, which should give us, in combination with the hydraulic brakes, plenty of stopping power. All right, got a little uphill section here. Gear shifting is very smooth as usual. And we come above this ridge and back down again. All right, here's our turn down the mountain, all clear. And we've got some windy roads up ahead. Do want to watch out for gravel, as we've had some pretty intense storms roll through the area over the past week, as well as any new potholes that might have developed. But generally speaking, this road is in fantastic condition. All right, another chipmunk. Those things, I'll tell you, they'll kill you. I can't tell you how many times I've come up here and have a chipmunk run right across the road in front of me. Actually had one running to the side of me at like 15, 20 miles an hour once. All right, shift into a little bit of a higher gear here. So we've got our next turning point. And back down the mountain it is. All right, clear on the left, clear on the right. Here we go. And we just crossed the 12-mile mark. And we still got about, it's like 70% battery remaining, maybe more. So far, all I can say is that this is the smoothest bike I've ever had the opportunity to ride. In terms of the ride, the gear shifting, brake performance, they've really got this thing dialed in. So far, very impressed with this bike. All right, so I'm pedaling a little fast here, but if I stop pedaling, shifts gears for me. Now, I'm in the perfect gear. More curves in the road up ahead. Brakes are super responsive. We got lots and lots of stopping power. A little gravel in the road there. All right. All gravity right now. And this is the section that's in the shadow of the mountain for the most part in the morning. We are cruising right along. Very controlled. You know, this bike doesn't have a suspension, but I'll tell you what, it's a very smooth ride today. All right, coming into our next set of turns. Here we go. The Lectric ONE dominating South Mountain. Beautiful views out there. You know, for this hill climb test, I could have gone up a parking garage ramp, but with a bike like this, that'd be no fun. We got to do some real world mountain climbing with the Lectric ONE. Back to gravity doing all the work. Beautiful view up ahead. And here we come into a tight turn. And another one. Little pothole there, that's exciting. All right. I can't tell you how fun this is. This is such a smooth bike. "30 miles an hour feels like nothing. Always a blast. We are officially at the 15-mile mark. Been riding around for an hour and 14 minutes, of course. We took our time up top, soaking in the views. And I'll tell you what, the brakes on this bike are absolutely superb. No concerns at all whatsoever on my end. More than sufficient for this bike. Every Sunday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. they close the road to automobile traffic. And then on the fourth Sunday of every month, they close the road up the mountain for the entire Sunday. So you don't have to worry about cars coming around those corners fast or piling up behind you or rushing you down the mountain or anything like that. It's very relaxing. So really, you know, hats off to the city of Phoenix for doing that here in this city park. So far, I think Lectric hit it out of the park with the Lectric ONE. You know, my first impressions ride, coming into this hill climb, you know, going all the way up the mountain, coming back down, absolutely superb performance. You know, and if you were curious, you know, I'm not like a, you know, official product reviewer for Lectric or anything. I actually bought this bike with my own money. And so, you know, if you watch my content and you decide, you know what, this would be a great next bike for me. If you use the links in the description below to purchase your bike through Lectric, it definitely helps out this channel, keeps the wheels moving on future reviews. So thank you in advance. All right, we are heading back into the parking area. We'll take a look at the GPS stats, do a quick debrief, and we will call it a day. All right, folks, so there you have it. That was our ride up South Mountain with the Lectric ONE e-bike. For this ride, we went up 17.26 miles. We had an average moving speed of 17.7 miles an hour, a maximum speed of 32.5 miles an hour, and an elevation gain of 1,818 feet. So overall, this was a fantastic ride up the mountain with the Lectric ONE. We spent most of our time in pedal assist level 3 as well as pedal assist 4, and we didn't need to use all of our gears to get up the mountain. Like, at no point in time, you know, did I have to put in some crazy amount of effort. It was actually a relaxing ride all the way up and all the way down, and we've still got plenty of battery to spare. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.